Hi, good morning. This is the 2018 Epsom Handicap. I'm Gary Robinson and I'm recording this for www.horseracingaustralia.info, and we'll come back there at the end of the race with a couple of extra comments. Okie dokie, let's have a look for the Epsom Handicap, and what we're looking at is the current good track. We can call this a good 4, no dramas there. Good 3, good 4, not a lot of difference. And as we can say, it's a very tight sort of situation, this race, with our top rated horse at $8. Now, the interesting thing about Murakeb is that if we have a look at that horse, we'll see that last start, okay, it only won a benchmark 88, but obviously it would have carried a big weight for the fact that it was in a lower class race. But you can see previous preparation as running the Group 1 back there on April, and did get beaten 3.5 lengths behind Trapeze Artist, and in that particular race was slowly away, which is a bit of a disadvantage. Okay, and 3 runs from a spell though in a listed race. First up, only beaten 2 lengths. Second start was beaten 3 lengths, and then finally blundered early stages. Look, this horse has a terrible record, but however, easily won that race. That was over the 1600 at Randwick. It's the second time he's won at Randwick over the 1600. So won the Group 3 here back on the 7th of April and ran a rating for us of 70. And on this occasion, even though it was beaten behind Trapeze Artist, ran a 75.5. And last start also rated a 70. Now, our ratings don't get a lot higher than that, so obviously a high-class performance. If we look at the next runner there, we've got Siege of Quebec. Its only failure was on a heavy track here, and the rider reported that it didn't handle wet. Last start was blocked for a run on straightening, but was still able to get up, and that was in the Group 3 just a couple of weeks ago. And in this occasion is coming from barrier 14, but if you have a look here, when we've got our barrier penalties here, that's a 1.4, but to be honest with you, I don't find that the 1600 is a great penalty to horses, especially of this quality, and with the very best riders in who are able to steer the right course. Parata is the 480 favourite. It's eased to $5, given that originally the track was expected to be wet, now expected possibly to be good. A little bit more about that later. But Parata only just missed after being wide throughout last start, and that was behind Siege of Quebec, and of course won first up. That was excellent, and we can see here in this particular race here, behind Kamantari and the Guineas, rated a 74.4. That's first up win on the 4th of August was a 72, so once again it is right in there. Okie doke, then we've got Hartnell and D'Argento. Now, the interesting thing is we're going to move this slightly because 6 millimetres of rain are expected overnight, although the Randwick track is currently a good 4. But of course, those showers, it depends where they land, and it could dump a lot of rain or hardly any. So I would imagine that if it is just 6 millimetres overnight, the worst the track's going to be in the morning is a soft 5. But if it were to go to a soft 6, for example, if we just move this, that's the advantage of having the GTX program, by the way. I can change this rating, and all of a sudden you see the changes here. All of a sudden, with the slight dampness in the track, Parata goes to the top, equal with Hartnell, although Hartnell is 8-year-old, and that's another issue in itself. And then D'Argento gets an improvement too, because D'Argento has had 2 runs on a soft track for 2 wins, 1 start on the heavy for a second. Now, the interesting thing is that the market has changed because of the changes in expected conditions. Now, Murakeb goes right down. It has no credit or whatever for a run on a wet track, for the simple reason it has never ever in its life raced on a rain-affected track. Whereas Siege of Quebec, because of that bad run on the heavy track, moves right down to 6. So you can see how they're slipping around in there. The rest of the field, I don't see a lot in the rest of the field. Unforgotten, I've got it rated right down there, and that's because it's had a bit of a break. Even if you add the 20-point penalty that I've applied to it, which would bring it up to a 62.9, it doesn't get anywhere near these. So, but if we have a look at it, we'll find that it's winning, of course, but in different classes. So some of these in the 3-year-old, they don't rate really highly as a 3-year-old until they move into the next stage of their career. She's a 4-year-old mare now. So that's not saying she can't win. It's just saying that you've got to work on what the form is. Okie doke. So when we go here, I'm Gary Robinson. Thank you for watching. I'll just slip you through here now. There's a reason for this. I want you to go and have a look at my website, because I'm going to show you how you can subscribe to my spring previews and so on, and that's going to happen at one stage. Well, that's not going through. That didn't work out, did it? Okie doke. Let's just go back here to our website, and here you go. I don't know what the internet's doing today. It's certainly upsetting me, because it should be here by now. And if you click on the store, you'll be able to see down here, you can go onto the ratings and selection services, and straight away you'll be able to see how you can get the Cups package for $595, and if you can't win with that, you can't win with anything. Now, just slipping back into this program, we also have a rating called Horse Racing Today. We only supply the top 2 on this. It's a purely statistical rating, and when we have a look at this, you'll see that the top 2 suggested runners here are D'Argento and Parada, with Unforgotten and Champagne Cuddles close behind. Now there you see, just based on the statistics, which takes into account how many wins and all that sort of thing, doesn't take into account the quality of those wins. Unforgotten comes up there 3rd, and of course whether it's a wet track or not does not even come into it. Okay, thanks for watching. Good luck.